We aggregate billions of different data points about property, and we create unique bespoke environmental profiles for every single building and property in the UK. We take that data and we use it to make products that we can sell to market to solve different climate change problems for different types of businesses. Our mission is to be the data behind net zero for the built environment to protect people and planet. Property data is inherently difficult to work with, and we've created an engine that can standardise data from lots of different sources to create these very advanced profiles for all existing buildings, which can give us unique insight into how each individual property can achieve net zero, how much that will cost, how much carbon savings there will be, and ultimately what that business case for an individual homeowner, for example, is for them to retrofit their home, which is a key tipping point in us really being able to get to net zero in the built environment as well.
So the ME power socket, or the measurable energy power socket, is essentially a like-for-like replacement for any standard power socket. Yet the one we've created from the scratch, from the ground up, has a small circuit board inside, and that circuit board is basically designed to measure the power consumption of whatever's plugged in. And then using this data that we record really frequently and very accurately, we then can sort of work out using machine learning what's plugged in. So we can sort of work out, is it a TV, is it a printer? And we can then also go a step further and try and work out whether or not it's in a state of wasted energy. So that could be something that's purely in standby mode, or it could be something that's on when there's no one in the office.
At Nuada, we're redefining how you capture CO2. Traditionally, the incumbent systems require lots of heat and energy, and subsequently are very expensive to operate. At Nuada, we're capturing that CO2 in a different way. We're using pressure alone. So we have created this heatless, solvent-free capture technology which slices that energy usage by up to 80%, which ultimately drives down that cost of capture, makes it more efficient and economical for the end users, such as your cement plants, steel plants, energy plants, etc.
Picklo is an independent marketplace for flexibility services. Now, what does that mean? So the industry is going through an issue where the inhibitor to achieving net zero is no longer trying to drive down the cost of renewables. It's actually trying to get those renewables connected to the grid in a sustainable and accelerated manner. And that's a fundamental issue, because in order to have the grid that can support these renewables, you have only a couple options. One, you can put more copper into the ground or into the wire, onto the pole, so increase the capacity of the network. Or secondly, you can harness what we call flexibility services. And essentially what this is actually using some of the battery assets, demand response, vehicle to grid integration. That's really what's making this network so much more dynamic in the energy transition, and use it to help more actively manage the network. So what we do is we pair up two parties. One, the electricity system operators. These are the organizations that run the grid, and they have some kind of network needs. They need 5 megawatts of flexibility from 2 to 6 p.m. during the summer months. And we pair them with what we call our flex service providers. And these are asset owners, the Teslas, the NLXs, anyone who can give or take away those megawatts or megavars on the network. And we run a competition and basically try and get the flex service providers to provide the lowest cost for the service. And then we actually help provision the service, measure and verify that the service was provided, and then remunerate them for their services.